That. And we live. Hey, welcome to another episode of Sleazy Sports. And today I'm joined by Peter as well as Mike. What's happening, gents?
How's it,
Hey
man?
man, it's one of those
Yeah,
weekends that's passed.
yeah. And you know the color, the theme of the show is blue, nah. And so
You're doing red.
yeah, I'm wearing red. Yeah, I'm wearing red, but the theme though, it's blue.
What?
So
Everton blue.
nah. And ironically, you guys were playing them, so I want us to kickstart the show on that note. We'll start off with. Let me see. Let's start off with Mike. Dog. Mike, what's your take, dog, on the performance? How are you feeling more than anything?
But we're a mid-table team. So it's not something that's going to surprise me.
Hey,
To be getting mid-table results, John. Like, it is what it is. Like, Blue Monday.
yeah.
So, yeah, anything this team does doesn't necessarily surprise me anymore. There's I don't think there's any form of style of play. The coach is bad. Look, I mean, a lot of people say he hasn't got experience signings, but I think at the end of the day, your role as a coach or a manager, is to improve the players that you have at your disposal. And like I look at all of those guys, and none of them you can pick out and be like, oh snap, he's truly improved under Pochettino. Like, I mean, can you say Gallagher? But Gallagher runs around. Sterling, yes, there were some little parts of him. I think it was against Man City where he kind of played well. But other than that, I mean, it's the same inconsistent team. There's not really much to write about. It's we're a mid-table team. I think only if you saw my post the other day, gone are the days of the Roman army. It's just like nothing surprises me about the team anymore. It is what it is.
Yeah. Thank you, cheese.
So much
on the lighter side of blue.
Yeah, on the lighter side of blue, and he's rocking his
the best
jersey.
side.
Yay!
The best side, you have to do it.
Yeah. I don't. Let's go to you, Sway. When I Sway on your end, I know you're gonna pretty much mirror what Mike says, but do you think that there'll be any improvements? Because Mike sounds like he's given up on the current manager.
Look, I think when you look at the dynamics right now, we have so many injuries. The coach is AWOL in terms of strategy, and I think especially when you look at certain positions in our team, I think there hasn't been actual improvement from when I look at last year's players that we sold. I look at Mudryk has been there for almost a year now, and to be honest with you, I think he's still an understudy, like far from a position where I can say he deserves to be playing in the EPL on a starting 11. And then you have on the other side, or on the left side as well, from a defensive end, Cucurella, people tend to compare him to Chilwell and say, he's on the same level. But for me, when I look at Cucurella, I used to play as a defender in primary school. And one thing I used to always remember is the anxiety defending, man-on-man marking. When you're a defender and you're facing an attacker, and because you don't know his next move, you basically just, you shiver your body in a way that kind of either dissipates the attacker to make a move. And that's kind of how I see Cucurella, how he defends. He has that anxiety of how he defends, where like a Reece James, where you have that firm posture around. If this guy beats me, he beats me, but I'm going to go for this position. I mark this guy in a certain way. Whereas Cucurella feels like he's actually, a panic defending. And I feel from the whole left side, there has been no improvement at all. And now let's even talk about the attack. Jackson, I had faith in him. I had faith in him. I had faith in him when he came in, right? Although I had some questions around the fact that he had one season in terms of credibility, in terms of his stats. And I was like, and also when I mentioned the last episode where I was on, and I was like, Jackson, his whole youth, he played as a winger. This guy is not an out and out striker professionally. He's in fact only 3 years of his professional career has he played as a striker, and that's when he obviously joined his previous team. So there's a lot of deficiencies in our team. I know people will protect Enzo. For me personally, Enzo has not warranted his price tag as yet. Whereas Caicedo, for me, I think probably besides the Liverpool game, I think for he has been steadfast, good enough as a defender to stay in the team. I mean, as a midfielder. Whereas Enzo, for me, no. Like, you know, we talk about output, and I know you're gonna probably there's critic that can be balanced in some way, but for me, Enzo.
No. I want to say is that I've heard you mention all the players, but you haven't said anything about the coach.
No. I'll get to the
players?
The coach is last. Coach, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the whole dynamic of what's going on in our team. Now, fine, let's jump to the coach, because I had a couple of other critiques, especially Sanchez. He's taller Kepa, but we'll get there. But for me, when I look at the coach, you know, I think about when he came in. You know, there was a lot of discussions around which coach to get. You know, certain fans wanted Zidane. They wanted what's this guy at PSG? What's his name? Is it Enrique?
Enrique.
Yeah, like, you know, there were a lot of coaches. Nagelsmann. I think I was a fan.
Someone
but
take a screenshot of this. Sure,
but when Poch came in, right, I was like,
shit, I think it was B.
I can hear you, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when Poch came in, I was like, okay, this guy, you know, look at what he did at Tottenham. It seems like he's a good coach. But when I look at what he's provided in this team, I feel like he has a sense of camaraderie with the players, in the sense of there's no firm decisions around tactics. There's no, I'm gonna be ruthless second half. I'm making these kind of changes that switch up a sense of how our opponents are playing. And it seems like there's a steady, fast way in which he coaches. If that doesn't work, it's you know, it's in the hands of the players. And I think when you look at the kind of players we have, you know, it should work for a Drogba or like a Lampard, where the players can take it upon themselves to take certain actions to make the team win. But if the coach himself is not able to motivate certain players, especially from a youth level, in this kind of league that we're playing in, I can't. So I think he's way above his weight at this point. And I'm worried now because, I mean, look at the past 4 coaches we've had. I think we've just burned through so many coaches as to who's coming next, because that's now the consideration. Who to replace him with? And their names out there. But I'm like, if I was a coach and I'm looking at Chelsea's current position, I don't know. I'd think twice before I join Chelsea. Because the ownership is all, yeah.
Yeah, and of course, so Kagisa's like also Poch was deemed as the best manager for young players. I would need a refund Angek. But let's be honest. I even recall Onke saying this as well. Speaking about how Poch is good with young players. When Cheese, do you concur with the gents? Do you think they should give Poch time?
So unfortunately, because Chelsea has given Abo Porter time, has given many coaches time, they have to give Upoch enough time. This season, again, seems like it's just going to be another season where the players get to know each other and rebuild. I don't think they can spend money to buy more players. They need to fix what they have now. And basically, Poch needs to know which this is my squad and he needs to build for next season. And unfortunately, so you don't want to hear that in Mike, but that's the direction that Chelsea is heading now. Is that it's going to be a rebuild season. We're going to give Poch a chance to learn his players, and the next season we will be much more hard on him. But he still needs to come with a result. I think that investment that came from the club won't come cheap, and he probably will get an axe as opposed to other coaches, because the other coaches didn't get that much money to spend. So he'll probably have a bit more pressure on him. But in any case, I think the balance again, and I always speak about the balance, and Colin will tell you, I always speak about the balance in teams, and it's the reason why United lost the game against Bournemouth this weekend. The balance in midfield is very important, right? And right now, You guys have Enzo and Caicedo who want to do pretty much the same thing on the pitch. They both want to be sort of the deep lying guy who's going to collect the ball and carry it
Evening,
forward.
gents.
Hey, Shiv, how's it?
Right.
Good. How are you guys?
Good,
We
good.
were-
Just when I thought this was a blue episode, hey,
Shiva was never gonna let you Chelsea guys go, bro. He made sure. I'm sure he
look
has
at that
another
smile.
report. He has a report he needs to submit, but he made sure he joins the show, even if it's
Of course.
for the last few minutes. So I'll just be speaking about Chelsea's balance in midfield, Shiva. And you know it's always a point that I always bring up on the shows. The balance with Caicedo and Enzo want to do the same thing on the pitch, and you don't really give much for Connor because he isn't a ball carrying player, and he's obviously going to want to be someone who's the runner, similar to McTominay for United. And you have Palmer, who's not the winger, and I think for what Chelsea want to do, he's not the winger. I think he should be the 10. Ideally, if you bring in Cole Palmer to play, I think he's probably better in the spaces. And I don't know, you guys might disagree, but I think he's probably better in the spaces than Conor Gallagher, and he probably creates much more chances than Gallagher for his front players, and he gets more shots probably. But for me, they need to sort that out, and Poch needs to deal with it quickly. You have two guys who cost 120 million, and you have to play them because you paid 120 million. But to be honest, one of them needs to take a seat. One of them needs to hold, and the other one needs to play. Otherwise, you're not going to score goals. And Chelsea's problem is we're scoring goals and you're conceding 4 as well. It's not a good look, I guess.
No, it really isn't. It really isn't. Yeah, and Shiva, since you've just hopped in, man. Yeah. Hope you are. First and foremost, it's been a while since you've been on the
Always
channel.
good. Thanks, guys.
But yeah, your take on Chelsea. Do you think Poch will survive December? Because that's like pretty much the title of the show. I forgot to even start off by saying that. Do you think he'll survive December, or especially with players coming back? I think Nkunku is coming back soon.
I think he'll survive because I don't think this new guy, the Todd mother, is as ruthless as what's his name? The Russian dude, Roman. Yeah. I also think that he brought Poch in to stay there for a while and to essentially make the players he has better, to increase the value of the club and then sell it on. This guy's not here to win trophies. Like, let's just get that out of the way. He has no interest.
He's
He doesn't
American.
care. He doesn't care about winning trophies. He doesn't care about the fans or about the style of the football club and the football that you're playing. He literally just saw an opportunity to make a quick buck, and that's what he's going to do. He wants these players to grow, to increase in value, to increase their following, basically, and then he wants to ship them off to Saudi. And then once he shipped all the players off to Saudi, he's going to sell the club.
Why Saudi though? Why Saudi?
Because he has contacts with the PIC.
Oh,
he has some contacts there. Yeah, so that's how they were able to offload like Koulibaly and Kante and all of those guys in the summer that just passed.
Yeah, from
Shiva, can I ask you? Yeah,
Go
since
for it.
like you're saying that the reason why Todd bought the club is for, I guess, monetary purposes, resell the club at a higher value. But what is the rationale behind signing so many young players on very long-term contracts that are unprecedented in this current era? I mean, you have players like Jackson on a 7-year contract.
Because they're young, because they will be tied down to a long-term contract. And if you're buying a player with 5 years left of his contract compared to buying a player with 1 year left of his contract, which one you're going to pay more for?
You'll pay more for one because Man United paid more for fucking Mount.
You guys are an anomaly. You guys are an anomaly. I think you guys bought Mount because we were like interested in him, and then you wanted to like pull one over us, like the amount of times we pulled one over you. So when we said no to, I think we were like 35, and we were not going to give him more than 150 a week. You were like, no,
Yeah.
cool, we'll double that, and we'll double that as well. And then congratulations.
Yeah. Yes. Hey, bro.
Is that a compliment?
It's not a compliment. But I don't know what we were doing there, And of course, Sihle Ngubane. But gents, with this billion, Chelsea, how much are his players? Like, I think quite a lot of the players that were signed. Do you guys think it's him who actually chose to sign those players? Do you guys even have a DOF, guys? If you don't mind me asking, guys.
We don't have a DOF. We have a director of which calls his title
Like
again.
Man United, pretty much.
Favelli, what's his name? What's his position? What's his title again?
No, but Favelli
Yeah,
left. man.
He left.
Yeah, he left long time ago.
Okay, then what do you guys have?
It's Win Stanley and then Joe Show, guys.
Isn't Todd trying to be the director of football as well?
No.
It's
So-
Because
Ekbali,
this guy,
no,
this bro pulls up in the dressing
Win
room and
Stanley
shit like
Joe
that.
Show.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has taken a step back.
Yeah, okay.
But like in terms of the players we've bought, I don't think it's necessarily. I wouldn't exclusively say it's a Poch signing. I think within Win Stanley and a couple of the other guys, the scouters, I think there's a certain direction around what kind of footballers. And I mean, to speak to Shavier's point, like it makes sense. You buy players, put them on long contracts. These are certain players. I guess they're meeting the owner's obligations. Buy players who you can make a good return on. As to whether you want, if you truly wanted to buy a title-winning team, with the kind of money we've spent, you could have probably allocated those funds more differently. But I guess there's a certain ambition. I think it's regardless of who the coach is. This was started even before when Potter was here. Players were, this January, we signed 7 players, all of them young, Modric, all these different players. So it was not even a case of Poch necessarily being the chosen one to direct Chelsea to a certain own stuff, titles, whatever. It's a case of these are the players that we think are going to make us money long term, and this is what we expect in return. We're going to sell them off. Probably Man United or Liverpool's going to want to buy one of these guys and boom, make a profit.
Yeah, no. Sittler just corrected all of us. Lauren Stewart and Paul Winstanley. All right. Are they from the US, these guys, or are they European?
No.
Oh yeah, they
I think one is from Brighton. I think the other guy is, can't remember the other way he's from.
Oh,
Yeah.
But the
Brighton Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah.
we'll look at Brighton now. So
Yeah, I know. I hear you. So
All you
Brighton
need to do now is get their stadium.
the Amex.
Yeah, make it your home stadium.
Is the Amex
big
bigger
is
than Stamford Bridge?
It's probably not bigger, I doubt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Stamford Bridge is also small. By United standards, it's a small stadium. Yeah.
You shouldn't be talking about stadiums, X. What's your stadium looking like now? Have they fixed the leaking roofs yet?
Hey man,
Did the toilets flush?
Like I said, we're
leaking goalposts.
Microwave.
That too.
How's the microwave?
Yeah. Do you guys want to
You opened
segue
up
to that?
You opened up a can of worms now, X, because
it's fine. I did it intentionally so that we can segue to the red side of Manchester. I don't think there's much we can talk about the blue side because you guys, you and Shavar are at the top.
I've seen this movie before. I have seen
No,
cheese. No. We've all seen this movie before. Kevin comes back in like January. Yeah. You win 14 in a row. You win the league by 5 points.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. With City, you can't even banter, bruh. Like really, you guys lost to Aston Villa. Arsenal also lost to Aston Villa, but still, we all know that City, they're yet to hit their gears, and once they start doing so,
we haven't started playing well.
But when are you worried, Sihle, in any way, or are you?
No, still not worried, but. I think I can, like I said before when we started this season, that fatigue and injuries are going to be a big part of every team's makeup this season. So managing that and trying to mitigate as much as possible will be important. And again, Pep did say, look, the team isn't training much in order to maintain the fatigue levels and stuff. The team isn't training much. They're doing small, simple things, ball work and
Maintenance.
positioning and maintenance and recovery most of the time because there's just too many games. And he says that if he was to have intense training sessions like we used to do, players wouldn't survive. And right now, you can see in the game that all the really good players, you can see they have to drag the team through the mud. Um, but the other guys who are new and then are coming into roles, I mean like Variola and stuff like that, for them it's going to become much harder, much tougher for them to acclimatize this season because the fact that we aren't training as intense as we used to. So for me, we definitely need to get through this rough patch. I think that was our period of all our tough games. So all our tough games is through now. Now we just need to manage getting that run that Shiba was speaking about, and then by the time we get to the big teams again, it's
How
just
Luton
grinding.
was a tough game.
No, I'm saying I was speaking about the games before Luton, right? Because that
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Luton's the game that we were expecting to win or expecting to win, even if we had lost and drew all those games before that.
Mm,
So
okay.
so I think now we've done with our big games. I think it's now Palace, probably our last hoodoo team. And then the
Careful of
rest is
Palace.
as well. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
so it's so for me, yeah. And again, it's dangerous again now. Teams like Everton, very becoming more and more dangerous. Because they know they need to
3 wins
grind
in
it
a
as
row.
well. Yep. Teams like Bournemouth are starting to play well and grinding results. Fulham has 2 5-goal wins in the past 2 weeks.
yeah.
Um, you
Spurs are
can
looking
see
good again.
that.
Bournemouth
Yeah, you
hasn't
can see
lost in
that.
6 games.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
teams who are doing really well, and you can say if United had that in 1 month and the coach got player of the month, coach of the month, and had so you can
Goal
just
of the
see
Bud as well.
it's tough, bro. That league is really, really tough. And it's just about stringing those results. The more results you string together, the better.
I think what
Dude.
happened to you guys, or what's happening to you guys this season, is similar to what happened to us last season. Because last season we played 63 games, and every single game, it got to a point where every single game mattered. As a fan, I was tired of football. You guys, okay, I don't think you played as many, but you won two more trophies than us, or one more trophy than us. But obviously the two big ones. So there's two things that's going to happen here. The first thing is we're all human. The players are probably just tired. Like simple as they ran themselves into the ground last season. They were absolutely amazing, and now they're just flat. And the second thing is, and I said this at the start of the season when I said Arsenal would win the league, and I still can't believe I said Arsenal would win the league, but I couldn't find another challenger. You guys have become a little bit complacent. I know we all said Pep won't allow it, and he's trying to not allow it, and the players are not complacent on purpose. But again, it's human nature. When you have to chase down like a 50-50, in the back of your mind you're like, but I chased this down last season and I've won everything. What do I have to prove? And then it becomes a 49-51, and then you're not chasing it, but you don't have the same level of desire, and it becomes a 49-51, and then the other team wins it, and yeah, you end up fourth. But as I said, Kevin De
So
Bruyne comes back. He wins 14 in a row for you guys again.
yeah,
And
no,
honestly, I think
but I want to disagree, of course, about the desire fact, right? When City were winning the first 10 games in a row this season or something, or was it eight? Um, it wasn't about desire. And you could see that already we were playing at that high pitch, high tempo, and creating so many chances, and it was never going to be sustainable. It was never going to be sustainable for City to do that for 38 games in the season. And on top of that, the other cup games, which is why, I mean, in games where we're winning 3-2, 3, 4-3 against Chelsea. We conceded the fourth goal. Liverpool, we're leading most of the game. We conceded. You see, it's late. It's the concentration at the end of the game. Guys are tired. Guys are
It's funny
very
because at
leggy.
the end of that game, at the end of our game, I actually felt like before the game, I'm like, you know what, I'll take a 1-0 loss. Like because you guys were on fire. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll take a 1-0 loss away to City. It's not the end of the world. Put in a good performance, get our confidence up. It's not so bad. But after we scored, I'm like, we could actually win this. And we didn't. I think a draw was the fair result at the end of it. But I actually thought for a moment there that we could. I don't think we've won at the Etihad in forever. Um, but I thought we could win that one.
That's how every team feels, except United, of course. But that's how every team feels when you're playing against City. Because they like we give them enough. We give them enough, and it's not. We give teams enough chances. Like we're giving teams enough opportunities to score, right? And it's not perfect. I think Akanji playing in that pivot role that Stones is plays not perfect. He's doing it, but it's not perfect. I think
It's
his
fine.
recovery getting into position. It's all right. It's like
Yeah.
We'd rather have you doing it than now we
Yes,
have
I'm
Kyle
struggling
Walker.
to hear you.
Yo,
Sorry.
Are you guys
Your
able to
mic.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and
No,
clear.
I'm saying Chase is lagging a little bit, isn't he?
Okay, no,
It's
sorry. You know what? It's probably
not.
my mic because it's moving around, mic.
It's
But
probably a mic now.
Yeah, it's
okay,
probably.
but
I can hear you
but
all
that's
the other guys properly though.
okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's more or less how I think about it. It's not a thing of we're trying to be complacent. Just the guys are really tired, and it's okay. We can't sacrifice Kyle Walker. He has to play every single game because we don't have a left back, and Variol and Ake as sort of like again they're sort of okay. They playing that left back role okay.
Yeah, they're not horrendous.
Like
They're
like
not
you
like.
can't say that they're not doing well. You can't give them a black mark. You can't really criticize them, but it's not the
Yeah,
level that you're used to.
100%, 100%. I know. I fully agree with you on that,
Hey,
man.
let's go back to Man United.
All
We
right. Yeah, I was
sucky.
about to. Yeah, I was about to segue to that. Yeah. About my club. Yeah, my club is. Yeah. Of course, Wednesdays win. Twitter. Our fan base. Unfortunately, I'm a person who wasn't celebrating the win. I was just dissing Sihle N because Sihle N likes throwing stones at me. United this, United that. That's the only person. Ask Mike. Mike, I never said anything to you. I never said anything to you, Peter. I just, was going at Sihle N because he always goes for Man United. Every time we do something, it's him throwing stones, even though he lives in a glass house. But with United, there's so many things that are happening at our team. Players are not happy with what Ten Hag is trying to implement. Player power is as per usual the name of the game with our team, and from a tactical standpoint, Cheese did mention there's no balance in our midfield. It's clear, it's evident. Even Owen Hargreaves spoke up on it that it's obvious that ball retention. It's so easy to play through our midfield. It's like a gaping hole. We just don't know how to retain the ball, and I fear for Sunday. It's Sunday, right, Shiva? Where you guys are gonna hand
Yeah.
Saturday.
us.
It's
You're gonna try
do
break.
you have it? Do you have it in your calendar?
Yeah, you're gonna
You
make
first
it
have to
8
do it
minutes.
Bayern.
Yeah. Oh no, first is Bayern. Like
And
team
Bayern just
lost
caught 5.
5-1. Yeah, I saw, bro. I saw because like when I was like on the group, I literally sent the screenshot of Man United and then sent Bayern just to
Yeah.
to cushion the blow a bit. But like Bayern just lost 5-1, so you can imagine what they're gonna do to us on. Is it tomorrow? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is
it's tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. So essentially, we're gonna be out of the Champions League. We could finish at the bottom of the Champions League, not even Europa League, which is I think it's best Because right now, man, I wouldn't want to play Europa League with how we are playing. I don't think uh, it's viable in any way. So we just have to write off this season, in my opinion. I do think, as much as I say, will Ten Hag survive December? I think he will survive it only because I don't think our owners are as ruthless as other teams are. So chances are he will stay, and we will, of course, get hammered by Bayern first, and then Shabazz team is gonna cook us even more. They're gonna make sure that they embarrass us because, yeah,
Look,
really, we don't have Fernandez. I mean, even
I'm
though,
not trying to be cocky or, I'm
yeah,
not going to throw stones before the game starts. But I'm just saying the only decision I have this weekend is whether I'm going to captain Salah or triple captain Salah.
because it's gonna be lit, and Salah stays scoring against Man United. Regardless of how. I remember last season at the beginning of the season we played you guys at Old Trafford. We won 2-1, and I think Salah scored the consolation goal. So Salah
Wasn't it
always
James Milner or someone?
Was it Milner?
It was someone. I don't think it was Salah.
Well, did he assist maybe? Because
Probably,
Salah
yeah.
always
He probably,
yeah.
yeah. And
So
then he made up
yeah,
for it later in the season.
yeah. So as man, it's crazy because even right now, Varane is fit. He's not injured, and we busy starting with Maguire. People are blaming Luke Shaw, of course, for 2 of the goals, but I think we don't have a left-sided centre back right now, and so Luke Shaw has played there. Last season, he did play there. Even when we beat Barcelona home and away in Europa League, he did play there and he put on a shift. And Cheese did say that Shaw isn't a bad player. He did say that in the group. And I also don't think he's bad. It's just I think my manager, man, right now is as far as how he's treating the guys who have power in the change room. It's quite concerning. It really is concerning, and I do feel that players are beginning to turn. Rashford as well missed 2 games back to back.
Yeah.
And you can
Okay,
see
but
even,
does he warrant a start though? Does he warrant a start though? I mean, I don't know. Because
no. I just
Anthony,
think
does Anthony even warrant to
that's
start?
exactly. You see what I'm saying? I was
How
about to say.
many players? How many
Yeah.
players in that squad? If we had to play, I think at the end of last season or the season before, we played
Yeah.
a keep, sell, loan, or bench, or
Yeah.
I don't remember what the game was. But right now, in your starting 11, how many players would you say you would want to build the club on going forward?
Well, okay.
Not even the starting 11, in the whole squad.
In the whole squad, hey man, if
And I shared
could,
that thing with your ex, remember?
let
For the
me
pundits.
from
So
the
Shiva,
pundits.
the pundits did that same thing this weekend
Okay.
for United.
I didn't even know that.
Let me
Maybe I
just
should be a pundit.
Let me just quickly share my screen there. Please advise if you guys can see. Should I zoom in? Or is it fine?
Okay,
zoom in.
Yeah. Is this fine?
Keep, lost
Yeah.
straw, or ditch.
Okay. Yeah, so of course these are the what I can. So keep is a tick, ditch is
It's a legend.
and then
Yeah, that's the legend. Okay,
Yeah.
let's look at this.
Ibam Tandamount.
Yeah, dude, it's because it's English. That's why. So we'll start off with Ten Hag, right? So Gary Neville says we must keep. Jamie Carragher says it's trending on thin ice. Roy Keane says we must keep, and then Ian Wright says we must ditch.
I think you have to keep him, right?
I beg your pardon?
I think you have to keep him because,
Yeah.
I mean, this new guy is going to come in, Ratcliffe. He's going to
Yeah.
want a sporting director, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's going to want a sporting director. You've got someone there who kind of sort of maybe knows the club. Will he get along with the sporting director? I don't know. But
Yeah.
you've got to You don't want to sack him, get a new manager, then get a sporting director, then the sporting director and the new manager don't get along. Then you sack that manager. Now you're trying to find someone who does get along with the sporting director, and then no, it's too much. You'd rather keep this guy, get a sporting director, and then if they don't get along, now you're only sacking one manager instead of two and
But
being left in the lurch.
what if Radcliffe, the way they want, because of course it's the sporting director that usually comes up with the philosophy, right? And what if Ten Hag is not the manager that they want? Maybe what if they want Peter Simang from who formerly coached Sundowns?
But that's my point, right? Then you're sacking one manager instead of two. Because now, what if now you sack Ten Hag, you get Pitzel. Pitzel comes in, he steadies the ship. First, everybody makes fun of him, like everybody made fun of Benny. But then suddenly you guys started scoring more goals. So then people stopped making fun of Benny. So the same thing will happen. He steadies the ship. And then you get the sporting director. And then the sporting director doesn't like Pitzel. The Pitzel doesn't like the sporting director. And then Pitzel leaves. And now that's another manager you've got to go. You've sacked another couple of mil that you've got to pay out. And someone else now that you've got to go find. So I think keep him at least until you get the new director of football, and then see how things go from there.
Nah, cool. You see, with me, man, I'm like Jamie Carragher right now. Like I'm, thin ice, because of how stubborn the manager is on my end, and him not being able to see our deficiencies is also crazy, and him persisting, to force us to play in that manner is also another thing that's a bit worrying. But I hear you, Shavar. Like I'm actually leaning towards what you're saying, bro. Yeah. So man.
Well, like I can see from this, there's a lot of English bias because it
is. It's crazy, dog. It's crazy, dog. Like look at this, Luke Shaw.
I would keep Luke Shaw. Wan-Bissaka, probably orange. I would actually keep Johnny Evans as like a fifth choice. As a fifth choice centre back, I would actually keep him.
But you'd rather just keep Lindelof, bro. If you're gonna keep freaking Evans, and why don't you just keep Lindelof?
Okay, look, I don't. Okay, I think Johnny Evans is past it, but I never thought he was a bad player. I actually thought he was the better of the two centre backs at Leicester, and it showed after Maguire left. Look, he's past it now. Now that conversation is not on the table anymore. But he must be a good influence in the dressing room. Like we kept James Milner for unnecessarily long, and those players, they have their place. So I would keep him for that as a fifth choice centre back. If now you want to talk about Lindelof, and now Lindelof is the third or fourth choice, I don't want Johnny Evans to be my third or fourth choice centre back, because I don't want to play Johnny Evans unless it's an absolute crisis, or I'm bringing him on in the last 5 minutes just to see out a game.
Nah, but like Liverpool, I'd rather have an 18-year-old centre back like Kwanzaa than have a 40-year-old centre back who's waiting to be my fifth choice. I mean, the direction of the club then is screwed if we have a fifth choice centre back who is close to retirement.
Yeah,
it helps. I see what you're trying to say, but right now United don't have that luxury, and they need someone there who will be the manager's right-hand man.
Bro, they can make him.
I don't think Bruno is the guy to be.
They can make him.
Right,
they can make him admin. They can make him admin of the WhatsApp group.
That's fine. That's fine. Just keep him. Make him a coach in the back, like what you guys did with Michael Carrick. But keep him. He should stay at the club.
Yeah.
What I find interesting about this list is almost all the new signings don't have definite greens, except for probably Holland. Besides that, Mount, plays English, but
nah, Mount needs to go.
Amrabat, Rush. Okay, fine. Martial, okay, makes sense. Some of these, I don't know, but it's a mixed plate.
Remember at the start of the season, I said I don't think Amrabat is actually all that, and I
Yeah,
was
you
getting
did.
thrown stone at me because he's good at. I think you and I had this argument. You were like, he's better than Declan Rice because he chowed Declan Rice in that final, and I'm like, yeah, but that's what he's good at. That's what he can do. He can't do
Yeah.
anything other than that. And now it's kind of showing that that's the limitations in his game.
Nah, but the thing is that any midfielder, even Rodri, if Rodri played for United, would struggle to play for Man
That's also
United.
true. That's also
Yeah.
true.
So for me, I think any midfielder right now, with how we are playing and with how we are set up, it's man. Like I just feel like Ten Hag is exposing players' deficiencies. I mean, when I look at City and I look at Liverpool, I mean, like for one, Trent is someone who's not good at one-on-one defending, right? He can, but you hardly see him in situations like that, and that's because
He
of how
actually
United.
was pretty good. Not against Palace. Who did we play before Palace?
The one where he scored a brace. It's thingy Fulham, the free kick
Fulham.
and
Yeah,
the
he actually
winner.
was pretty good against Fulham. Against
Yeah,
Palace, he kind of played as a 8, which
yeah,
uh, for me,
yeah,
I saw why I don't want him in midfield in that game. But
yeah,
some
but
people saw why they do want him in midfield. So I see both sides of the argument.
yeah, but it's while it's not. It wasn't bad. That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
you don't. When Trent plays for Liverpool, he never. For me, it's. I don't really remember a bad game. Only last season because you guys had so many injuries. Yeah, and I mean your squad was very thin. But this season he's been playing well. I'm sure you guys have him in fantasy. Let's be honest.
No.
You don't.
He's 8 mil, dude. He's 8
Bro,
mil,
that's too
and
much money to
no
spend on a
defenders
defender,
keeping
bro.
like no one's keeping clean sheets except for well, Everton now are keeping clean sheets. But yeah, I had
Yeah,
Trippier for a bit, and now he's suspended, so I need to ship
yeah,
him on. But yeah, here it's this season's just been light on defense and put your money in midfield because there's no strikers. There's Haaland, and then there's I
yeah,
suppose there's Watkins, but there's no strikers either. So it's literally just pump your cash into midfield.
Yeah,
yeah.
my defensive tackle was just get fullbacks, bro. Rather, at least we're conceding goals, but they have a chance of this guy getting an assist.
Yeah,
So, likes of people who take set pieces like Poro, Digne for the
yeah,
clubs will be more valuable than getting a centre back who only goes up there just for a corner, and you know
yeah.
they're gonna concede. So it's pointless spending money on a lot of money on some sort of those defenders.
I know, makes perfect sense,
Also, I'm
Jane. So
having a shocker of a season. So
a lot of people, it seems like a lot of people are Shiva. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. I'm glad that I've, taken my sabbatical. Mental
yeah,
health is so key, guys. I'm just saying. Yeah. But yeah, this list, man, back to it. I also think it's, very biased. I just don't, English pundits, man. If they could ask maybe, guys like Robin Van Persie, pundits that are, very vocal, who aren't afraid of speaking their minds. I think this list you'd see a lot of players who are highly rated, get a lot of X's here, but it is what it is, guys. Let me just stop sharing this. But yeah, with my team, man, I just think it's gonna be a long season. I've already accepted it. And yeah, it's just gonna be myself and Chelsea. We'll see who's gonna finish higher.
It's obvious. It's obvious. But the way I look at you guys, I would have assumed when I look at the beginning of the season, I thought the way Aston Villa's playing was going to be what Man United was going to develop into. But I mean, Aston Villa, I even watched this past weekend's game against Arsenal. I think there's something unique about some of these teams where maybe it comes from a management level, ownership level around the philosophy of the team, but there's a sense of drive and a sense of kind of collective structure around how they play. I mean, even when you look at some of these other teams, not just Aston Villa, but even like a team like Newcastle, but then
Yeah.
you could see that from last year, I guess. But like you look at a team like Aston Villa, this past weekend, I was actually impressed. I mean, looking at a player like Tillemans, and the foot he put out, like Rice was sweating that game. Like it's just proof around the structure of a team. So I think maybe Man United, I think maybe they lost it some way or they never had it. I don't know, but I had the sense of belief that you guys were gonna get there. Because people criticize someone like Onana. Sometimes I feel like if he was in a different situation, a different team, maybe it'll be better. Because this guy was going from a what you call this, from a Champions League final to a guy who looks like the Mumish in certain games. I'm like, what happened? So I don't know. Like,
I think, you see, Cheese even said this in the group. I think there's quite a lot of players in my team. If they were in other teams, they'd excel. I think as much as I don't rate like Shaw, for instance, if Shaw was at City, I don't think Shaw would look as bad as what he is to at Man United. I don't think a player like Rashford would look bad at Shiva's team. I don't think he'd start.
No, I don't want Rashford in my team. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think he'd be bad though. On the break,
I mean,
he'd be very
but that's the thing. Like, he's okay. You and I have had this conversation. Essentially, we both agree that he's world class, like absolutely world class on the break, where he has space to run into and he has a route to goal, and he just needs to, run in and then take a couple of touches and then try to curl one in. Like, he's world class at that. But as soon as he has to have a little bit more to his game, like come deep and receive the ball or hold the width, or as soon as he has to do anything other than his one trick, he looks lost.
Yeah, it looks lost. Indeed. Okay, another player, Sancho. I think Sancho's a good player.
I think
here's
the thing. Here's the thing. Yeah. We were in for Sancho when you guys got him. Yeah. Initially, I thought it was, okay, United offered him 350 grand a week. We're not even paying that. I mean, 350 grand a week. We're not even giving Salah that, but we weren't giving Salah that at that time. And so I thought, okay, fine, we're priced out, moving on. But Klopp has a very strict no dickhead policy. Extremely strict no dickhead policy. And Sancho turned out to be a bit of a dickhead. So
I really want to go back to the point of players going there and not developing, right?
Yeah,
and it's something that's in the rot at United, and we need to come and we need to protect players, because players come from Dortmund and go to other teams and they excel. Players come from Dortmund and go to United, and now they have to go have dinner with kids across the road. So
but here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. If you are a player, if you're Mason Mount, I'm picking on him, but he was the first one that popped in my mind. If you're Mason Mount, you look at United and you look at what's gone on there, and you see that nobody that has signed for United since Ferguson left improved as a player. Maybe Bruno, but I don't think he's improved. I think he's just on the same level. But everybody else, aside from Bruno, got progressively worse as a player, right? Rafa Varane looked like one of the best defenders in the world. Now, you saw the pundits all had him on red, and I think most of us here will also have him on red. Maguire was quite promising. Okay, he's picked it up a bit this season, but like, come on. Did Luke Shaw, maybe you can say Luke Shaw got better, but also
none of these players got better, Shiva. None of these players. They bought Wan-Bissaka for 50 million, and Wan-Bissaka is still the same guy who slides tackles.
Yep.
He's a glorified innocent Mdlele, bro. That guy is literally is just a defender who's always going to be, and he hasn't improved, bro. To be honest, we have to be honest, he hasn't improved.
So back to my point. If you're Mason Mount and you see that and you know this, and it's been 10 years now, right? You see that and you know this, and you have other options. Probably primarily the option would be to stay at Chelsea and become club captain and become a legend at the club. And that's exactly it. You sell your career.
Yeah.
You sell your career. That's literally what it comes down to. So I don't feel bad for these players who go there, because they know what they're doing.
Now
They
all
know
of
what
them,
they're
bro.
doing. They
We have
know that they're choosing the
Palmer.
bucks.
Cole Palmer went to Chelsea. They told him, we're not going to sign a left winger. Mars is leaving. You have a position. And he thought, no. Chelsea going to give me 100K more so that I don't have to ride the bus. Shut up, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go stay in London.
yeah,
Go live off crumbs. And then that's what it is
yeah.
now.
I don't think he's doing that badly though. I actually think he was one of the better signings for Chelsea.
He's a good player. He was ready
Hmm.
to be a first team player. He was already at that level. And now
Yeah.
you take that development into a team that doesn't play that same sort of structure, and you have to
Hmm.
build yourself. He has to build his name again at Chelsea, and he's a really good player, Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he comes into a team that isn't playing as well as a team as it should.
Well,
100%.
Chelsea has the same problem. Like, I don't understand why you would want to go to Chelsea right now.
Yeah. It's
Even as
this.
a coach.
Yeah. Even as a coach, you're right.
Rebuild, Baba.
That, that
Rebuild. You want to be known as the team, as
Ah,
the guys who rebuilt Chelsea. You want to be part of that dynasty.
Mm.
yeah,
but
well, that's the
it's not going anywhere. So back in 2016 or something, it was the start of the season, and I was having a conversation with the Arsenal fan, and now this was obviously a long ass time ago. Um, but essentially, it went something like, "Why are Liverpool fans so happy and making fun of Arsenal fans when the point difference was like 2 points between the two teams, and we were like 10 games into the season?" And I'm like, if you look at where we are, I think that was the first season we finished fourth, so it might have been Salah's first season.
Yeah.
If you look at where we are, sorry, no, it was a little bit earlier than that. But anyway, if you look at where we are, we look like we're going forward. We look like we have a plan. We look like things are starting to come together. There's some direction in that club with the way we play, with the players we're signing. And with you guys, it looks like you're slipping. You're not even maintaining where you are. And that's what you should look for when you are looking to rebuild. Look at the team. Do Chelsea look like they're going forward? They
but like
don't.
you see,
But you for the coach,
but
man. Their coach been there for less than a year. He coach's been there probably the longest out of all the top 6 coaches. Club.
I think
So
he's the longest serving manager in the league.
yep,
Could be wrong.
yep,
It's
yep.
When
currently.
did Pep join? I think Pep joined
After
before
him.
him. After him.
No, it's
Yeah.
right now.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did join after him. He did join after
I
him.
mean, when you look at
Yeah, he's probably
Chelsea,
the longest serving manager in the league.
Chelsea has like what almost gone 8 years now without winning a domestic. Well, not besides 8 years really. Besides obviously excluding the UCL and Europa, and that obviously came within like a 3-year window. And I think gradually, even under the Roman era, there was a kind of a toxic energy even from the fan base around. I mean, Sarri's season was one hell of a toxic season until the Europa final. That was one hell of a drag. You obviously had the Lampard era. I mean, the 2 Lampard eras, the Potter era. I mean, this is literally 6 coaches within this time frame, and nothing to show for it really, besides that crucial Champions League final, which kind of holds over. So that big club status is kind of faded in terms of their stature as an identity as a club, and any rebuild, honestly, it's honestly, if I was a coach, I'd probably go to Chelsea on the simplicity that if I fail, I get at least a good bag. Because Potter's got a good bag,
Yeah.
fine, you sell him off.
As a
So I mean,
coach,
like
I can
it's
see it. As a player,
Yeah.
though, I'd rather go to Villa.
Yeah.
Villa.
That's true.
I'd rather
Yeah,
go to
you
Villa.
improve. You improve. And Villa gonna win thing in the Conference League, bro. At least.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
those salaries, boys, those salaries
Yeah,
are the
Yeah.
difference. I mean, you can go eat a bench at Chelsea and live well for a good 5 years.
The thing is,
Go to
though,
Villa and work hard for your salary.
you're a long time retired, right? So
Yeah.
when you're retired and the money's gone and you picked up a big ass salary for 5 years, and then the rest of the time afterwards you didn't do much, no one's really going to want to hear your opinion. Then you're not going to be a well-paid pundit. You're not going to get invited, unless you're like ridiculously good with your analysis. your name's not really going to mean much to players.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah,
there's a reason
also
why
not.
Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, who they were good footballers, they were above average footballers. They were not amazing. They were just both rock solid. Like they're set with their careers now in punditry or whatever they choose to do because they've came out of the game with such a
And
good
all
name
those
for themselves.
all of those
Michael
guys are such
Owen won a
average
Ballon
players.
d'Or.
All of those guys are such average players. Me, I listen to Michael Owen. All of those guys are average. Roy Keane, very average.
I
Mike,
don't think Michael Owen is an average
Gary
player.
Neville. No, not Owen. I said I can only listen to Michael Owen. Gary Neville, very average.
Dude,
Jamie
Yeah.
Carragher, king of averageness. Luckily Khwati of England. Bro, all of these guys who sitting there are very average. We are here as well, pundits. We don't earn a great salary, and it's okay, right? But for a footballer who doesn't have a career outside of football, if you take the wisest financial decision, you're gonna take a team like Chelsea is gonna pay you proper money.
And
And
I
it's
suppose you
nice to
also
be.
do back
It's nice to be.
yourself, right? To think
And
that you'd be the
Shiva,
guy.
same thing as Maguire, bro. Maguire had the option to go to West Ham, less pressure,
Yeah.
full game time, and he was like, "No, it's nice for me to get bullied on Twitter inside of his 500,000 rand
So-
week, 500, 300 euros a month, a week salary."
Different
So-
points of their career, though, right? Maguire, how old is Maguire now? 28, 29?
30.
30.
31.
So, like at that point, you can take the money. But if you're 21, 22, you kind of have to put your career first.
what was that guy from Man United who went to West Ham for loan? Like, what's the name again? And then came back and was like, "Nah, I'm not staying." And then now I think he's now playing in Turkey. What's his name again? What's his name now? You know what I'm talking about. Lingard. Yeah, I mean, like I thought he was gonna do well at West Ham, and then I don't know why he decided like,
He
"Nah,
actually
I'm
did
staying
do
at
well
Man."
for a bit, right?
Yeah, I did well
Yeah.
for a bit. You know, he was scoring goals and everything. And then, of course, his contract ran out. He left on a free. Then Nottingham last season gave him 200 bags a week for one season. And he took the money, chilled on the bench. And now, of course, he's left the country. You know, so yeah, he's
But, like-
most probably for retirement, he saved up a lot. Because 200 bags is a lot of money, man, per week.
That's why I say outside of football, like I said in the group, the things that play out in terms of outside of the pitch influence a lot of these players. Some of these guys from the earliest 18, you're an Instagram celebrity, girls want you, you're living this soft life, you got cars, fancy lifestyles, that even your hunger is a sense of, wanting to aspire for, the best of the best in the world. I think that kind of fades away in the sense of when you compare to the older generations where you came from nothing. For you to have like that sense of title, of that celebrity fame or that recognition, you had to sweat your ass off for it. Whereas now,
Probably even a little bit before that, right? Because from the academy, they were literally,
Yeah.
I don't want to say groomed, but groomed to be pro footballers, right?
100%.
So they've basically looked after their whole lives.
And now you get guys like Bellingham. I mean, at 19, of course, he's killing it on the field, but you can imagine how much he's getting paid at 19.
Yeah, but so
Yeah.
also remember, he wouldn't have been as spoiled at Birmingham as Jesse Lingard would have been at United.
That's another good point. Yeah. Because we pay people crazy, man. Like even Brandon Williams. I think Brandon Williams is on like
What happened to that
75. He's eating bench. He's actually in our
Where?
reserves. He's actually in our
Uh-huh.
reserves, but he earns 75K a week. You know,
I thought there was a player there.
Yeah, see. I won't lie, I didn't. Sure.
Really? I thought there was something there. Like,
Yeah. I don't know, in closing, gents, what you guys wanna say, what you wanna add. Champions League.
can I just say the obvious? I want to
Yeah.
say the obvious. Actually, you and I spoke about this.
Yeah.
Our mutual friend who's chilling there in London right now. I mean, do we need any more proof that he is bad luck?
Yeah, that's
Poor Adam Taylor went to, as a Newcastle fan, went to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to witness
Yeah.
that. And I've been saying for a long time, guys, Adam is bad luck.
Yeah, and it really is, because your 4-1 is a lot, bro. It's a lot. I know the stadium is bougie. I mean, I saw him taking snaps,
Yeah.
videos and everything. I'm like, I know. But shit. Oh my days. Oh my days. And what's crazy is that they scored on both ends. So he was sitting behind the goals. So he actually saw 2 goals going to the back of the net by his end. But yeah, he'll be strong, Shabba. He'll be strong. I mean, and it's crazy how his team is beneath my team, considering how shit we have been this season. It's crazy. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But anyway, gents, thank you so much for tuning in. Much appreciated.
Yo,
Really
X, I
appreciate
think you should, just before you wrap up, I think probably an episode should be done on, we had that conversation around what Gavin Hunt says. So from a local side, one of these
Yeah.
days, just.
No stress. No stress. No stress. We'll talk. That'll be very interesting conversation. Jeez, do you wanna join? Hey.
Yeah, Zinto Zam, local PSL. I love it.
Yeah.
It's always a good laugh. There's
Yeah.
there's a post actually I wanted to show you quickly. It'd be a nice quick laugh. Yeah,
Yeah.
before we end the show.
Share on the group.
Give me
then.
1 second. I'll send it to you now.
Yeah.
And then I want you guys to tell me what's wrong with this picture.
Oh my days. Okay, let me just share. I've just
Yo,
Alright. Yeah.
Look at that ball possession, Shiva.
Yeah, I was about to say the math ain't math.
bro, the math is not matching, bro.
What? Maybe that's how much extra time there was.
Oh. The
No, I
math
think
ain't
I think in that league the ref also touching the ball counts for them.
Yeah. I know. What can we say, guys? I hope we're not gonna see this in AFCON, man. Because damn, AFCON is because even at AFCON you do see dingy things when the ref blows the final whistle in the 85th minutes. I think it happened in the last AFCON, bruh. I was so upset, bruh. Shiva. I was like, guys, come on. How you gonna blow the final whistle in the 85th minute? But anyway, guys,
It's
thank you
AFCON in Jan.
Yeah, it's in Jan, dog. Jan.
That's why I'm not saying we're gonna win the league, because I know Jan's gonna be a tough month for us.
Yeah. I know, no. But you have to hang in there, Shiva. You have to hang in there like the rest of us. We're losing on Nana, bro. Eish. I'm so heartbroken.
Oh no!
What a travesty! Oh no!
Oh no! I can't believe it! No!
Whatever will you do?
Oh no! What would you guys do without him? Oh no!
Eish, dude. But anyway, kids, thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Help a brother out. This is Easy Sport, and we out. Peace.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.